Hey, it's Tom Pankos for GAK. We're going to be checking out two of the brand new Prestige guitars from Ibanez. If you're not familiar with what the Prestige line of guitars is from Ibanez, they essentially are the highest tier of model you can get below J Custom, which is really rare, and there's only a handful of those produced a year. So what this means is that they're all crafted in Japan as opposed to being Indonesian import models. The quality is a lot higher on them in comparison to those. You're getting a bunch of really neat features, and that's one of the reasons that Prestige carries that Prestige line, and people like them so much. So the first guitar that we're going to look at is the RG5320C. Ibanez absolutely smashing it with the product names again, but this is essentially an RG. It features all the appointments you'd expect from an RG, but they've just made it a little bit more in line with what people want for 2021. So if we dive right into the specs immediately, if you're familiar with Ibanez, you'll know that they have Wizard necks. This one is no exception. We've got a Super Wizard HP neck profile on this. It's pretty thin, but it's not too thin. You know, if you're familiar with Ibanez, you know how they feel. If you come from a different brand, then obviously these are a little bit thinner. It's something that enables you to just be like Wizard speedy on them, and I guess that's why they call it Wizard. I have no idea. We've got 5-piece construction, so we've got maple and wenge, pronounced wenge, not wenge. That one pops up a lot, and I think it's funny. We've got lumen lace side dots, which is really cool. So these ones will light up in the dark, which is really neat. That's something that the Prestige line didn't previously have. So we've got 24 frets as standard on an ebony board on this. This is a Macassar ebony board. If you're familiar with how that feels, you'll know that it feels great. One thing that this guitar has is something that they call the Prestige fret edge treatment. Basically all that is they've taken extra time just to make sure that those frets are really, really nice, really easy to play. They're not sharp at all, they're not sticking out, they've spent some time on these to make sure that they're very much in line with how they feel the guitar should be. It feels great to play, you don't catch your fingers on them at all. This particular model's got some binding on it as well, which is going to help with that. But yeah, just very, very smooth. In terms of the body, we've got an African mahogany body. We've got Damasio pickups, which are covered this time. So that's not something that you would normally see, or they're not as common at least. So we've got a Air Norton in the neck, and we've got a Tone Zone in the bridge. That's a pretty classic combo. If you're a fan of Damasio and Ibanez, you'll know how those sound. I think they're great. They're very well balanced. They do the Ibanez sort of sound thing very well. They've got plenty of punch, but when you put them in the coil split stuff, then they really start to come into their own because you're getting some of those really nice split coil sounds. So in terms of the switching, we've got a standard 3-way switch, volume and tone, and then we've got a coil split switch. And that's going to enable you to get some of those sort of spankier tones. Like when you're splitting it into a single coil, you're obviously going to get a different response. When you're in the middle position, you're getting a different split. So you're getting like the coil here and here together, which is really nice. That's a really, really nice feature instead of having two humbuckers, which you obviously get by flicking it down, and then that's normal. So it's got plenty of versatility there. We've got a low pro edge on this as well. So if you're familiar with the low pros, then you'll know how this feels. They're kind of like the edge tremolos, but these ones are slightly different in the way that they're put together. They feel great. I was playing around with this for a while, and it's very smooth, as you'd expect from something from Ibanez. So the second guitar that we've got is the RG5121. This one is a fixed bridge version, essentially, of what we've got, and it comes with some Fishman Fluence pickups. If we really quickly jump into the spec, it's essentially the same, but we've got a few different appointments to make it more in line with being fixed bridge. So instead of having standard tuners and a locking nut, we've literally got locking tuners, and these are the Goto locking tuners that Ibanez have been using. They're really great. They really hold their tuning well. It's a locking tuner. What more can you say? Again, we've got that 5-piece construction, so we've got maple and wenge. We've got lumen lace side dots, 24 frets. So yeah, essentially exactly the same. But then the difference is in the hardware and the bridge. So we've got Gibraltar standard 2 bridge, fixed bridge, really easy to intonate. Ibanez have been using them for a while. They're quite comfortable. The saddles aren't harsh as well. So if you're doing a lot of palm muting, those saddles aren't going to get in the way. They're not going to rip your hand apart. It's just going to be really comfortable to play. For the pickups, we've got Fishman Fluence moderns in this. If you're familiar with Fishman's, they've got an option to swap between 2 different voicings. And instead of having that coil split like we had on the other guitar, we've now got a voicing switch. So it's essentially the same switch, but it's going to be toggling between those different voices in the pickup rather than coil splitting. We've got a 3-way switch again, and with just standard volume and tone. And again, we've got that African mahogany body on the back here. So that was two of the brand new Prestige model Ibanez guitars. Let us know what you think in the comments. I'm a big fan of Ibanez. I've got a few, and these guitars are more of what I'd expect from Ibanez. Like, if you come from that Prestige background and you felt the difference, like that Prestige fret edge treatment is going to be a big key factor, because that feels really comfortable. The necks are really smooth. You're getting the performance you want out of them. They're well built. But yeah, you know, let us know what you think in the comments. Is there anything you'd like to see Ibanez doing? Do you currently own some? Would you consider these? Any of those sorts of things. Let us know in the comments. Leave us a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to see more things like this, and we'll see you in the future.